Hi friends, welcome to Raising Lifelong Learners. I'm your host, Colleen Kessler, and this is the podcast where I encourage you to trust yourself and your differently wired kiddos as you help cultivate their curiosity, encourage them to discover the world around them, embrace who they are wired to be, all while helping them discover their passions, interests, and raise them to become the amazing adults they're meant to be. Hey, welcome back. This is episode 269, and today is the final episode in our series all about the 6 C's of homeschooling success from my book, The Homeschool Advantage, a child-focused approach to raising lifelong learners. If you haven't had a chance, go back and check out the first 5 episodes of this, where we talk about connection, collaboration, content, critical thinking, and creativity. Today we're going to be talking about confidence and wrapping up the series, so I hope you're ready for it. But before we head into the episode, let me just thank CTC Math for all of the support that they continue to give and for continuing to sponsor the podcast. If you haven't checked them out yet, check them out at ctcmath.com. Let them know I sent you, and know that if you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me at any time, because we have been CTC customers for years and my children still use CTC Math. So I am so happy to discuss it with you if you have any questions about how it would fit your family. Like I said, we are customers, we are paying customers. And so it's amazing that CTC has also seen the value in our podcast and continues to support the work that we do here. So check them out, ctcmath.com. And now pop your earbuds in and take a walk or relax for a little while, and let's get on with today's episode. Hey there, welcome back. Okay, so today we're wrapping up our series of the 6 C's of homeschooling success that I talk about in my book, The Homeschool Advantage. We've already covered, like I said in the introduction, connection, collaboration, content, critical thinking, and creative innovation. Each of these C's build on the last, and they're all skills that will help your kiddos thrive. Today, we're diving into the 6th and final C, confidence. I really encourage you, if you haven't had a chance to check out this series yet, go over to the show notes for this page, go over to the show notes for this episode, and click on the links for the past episodes, or just scroll back in your podcast app, because, like I said, they really do build on each other, and if you follow along, you will really set up your kids, yourself, your homeschool for success. But let's talk about confidence today. Confidence is a powerful thing. It's what gives our kids the courage to try new things, to keep going when they face challenges, and to believe in themselves even when things get tough. It's what helps them grow into resilient, capable adults. And as homeschooling parents, we have a unique opportunity to help them build this system. And as homeschool parents, we have a unique opportunity to help them build this essential skill. Let's explore what confidence really means and how we can nurture it in our kids. Now, I've written about confidence before on the site, so if you head over to the show notes for this episode, you'll find lots of links to different resources related to confidence. And my book from a few years ago, Raising Resilient Sons, A Boy Mom's Guide to Building a Strong, Confident, and Emotionally Intelligent Family, has multiple sections about confidence and how it ties in to helping our kids become more resilient. So I highly recommend that book, as well as The Homeschool Advantage, a child-focused approach to raising lifelong learners. Even if you don't have boys, it's worth checking it out of the library because so much of the book is applicable to all families. Here's the thing. Confidence has 2 key parts. It has the willingness to try and the persistence to keep going. The first part, the willingness to try, is all about encouraging our kids to take risks, to step out of their comfort zones, and to try new things. As Wayne Gretzky famously said, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Without the willingness to try, our kids might miss out on incredible opportunities. The second part, though, is persistence, or what Angela Duckworth calls grit. in her book, Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. Grit is about sticking with those long-term goals, even when the going gets tough. It's the determination to keep refining ideas, learning from mistakes, and working through challenges. This combination of willingness and persistence is what separates those who succeed from those who give up. It's important to note that this doesn't come easily for some, especially when we're raising neurodivergent kiddos. When we're raising kids who are on the autism spectrum, who are gifted, twice exceptional, have different kinds of struggles like ADHD, they have a harder time persisting and persevering in the face of disappointment and failure. They struggle with perfectionism. They struggle with fear of success and fear of failure because the unknown is unsafe to a lot of them. And for us who are parenting neurodivergent kids, it's important to give a little bit more grace and to realize that everything's going to feel 2 steps forward, 1 step back, maybe even 2 steps forward, 3 steps back sometimes, and then just 1 step forward. You're going to be moving at a snail's pace, and your kids are going to fall back on avoiding, a lack of motivation, and sometimes just frustration that shuts them down. In traditional education, there's a heavy focus often on high-stakes tests and grades, but that's actually the opposite of what kids need in order to build confidence. When people are focused, when educators, when teachers, even when parents are focused on grades only, especially, kids start to feel like they have to understand everything instantly, and that doesn't leave room for struggle or growth. Homeschooling gives us the freedom to change that. We can create an environment where kids have the space to struggle. They have the space to try, and they even have the space to fail in a safe and supportive environment. I think about my friend's daughter who took several years to master 4th grade math. My friend used a mastery-based approach, and when her daughter finally understood what she was doing, she was able to move forward. Her confidence soared because my friend taught to mastery instead of teaching and getting the grade and teaching and getting the grade and moving on despite a lack of knowledge. Her daughter was given more time to relax into the material, to really learn it, internalize it. And then once her confidence soared and she came back to it, she was able to complete her 5th grade math program in less than half a year. When kids have the time they need to succeed, they build the confidence that can carry them through future challenges. It also helps them have a more growth-centered mindset and helps them manage the power of expectations as well. Carol Dweck, the author of Mindset, The New Psychology of Success, talks about the power of a growth mindset. And we've talked about growth mindset here on the podcast before. The idea that our brains are like muscles that get stronger with exercise. When we help our kids see that they can grow and improve through effort, they're more likely to keep going when they hit roadblocks. Expectations also can play a huge role in building confidence. When kids are placed in situations where they're expected to fail, they tend to shut down. When they're placed in situations like some school and classrooms, and they're faced with the areas in which they struggle again and again, they shut down further and further. But when we create an environment where they're expected to succeed, they rise to the occasion. So let's set high but realistic expectations and let our kids know that we believe in their potential. I've talked before about the Learners Lab, my community for creative outside-the-box thinking and often neurodivergent families that includes resources for parents, but more importantly, classes for kids, discussions on social and emotional skills, creativity, and then some social time kind of clubs and unique activities for them. Every month there's a theme. And for the month of January, we're focusing on the theme of managing expectations, and all new and current members get access to all of the different themes. But if you join later, like if you're hearing about this now and you think, oh my gosh, that sounds like exactly what my kids need, We put all of the replays in there, and there's a whole archive of all the past social and emotional skills and challenges that we've tackled in there. But like I said, this month we're talking about managing expectations. We're talking about setting realistic goals. We're talking about how oftentimes we build things up in our heads and we could never achieve the level of success or achievement that we've built up in our heads. And so we're talking about how to manage those expectations. One of the ways we can do that is to model expectations and confidence through our own actions for our kids. Here's something really important to remember. Our kids are watching us. They see the way we approach challenges, the way we handle setbacks, and the way we take risks. It sets an example for them. Are you the kind of person who barrels on even when there are warning signs? Or do you hesitate, overthinking every move? Maybe you're a calculated risk taker. Or perhaps you're the type who questions everything and isn't afraid to challenge the status quo. Whatever approach you take, remember that your kids are learning from you. Those who push through challenges tend to raise kids who do the same, and those who give up at the first sign of trouble can unintentionally send the message that it's okay to quit when things get hard. Think about the example that you're setting. Remember, you have the power to shape your kids' approach to challenges. Confidence isn't just, though, about tackling academic or creative challenges. It's also about social situations. Some kids are naturally comfortable making eye contact, offering a handshake, and introducing themselves. Others might prefer to blend into the background. We can help build their social confidence by teaching these skills and giving them opportunities to practice. My oldest son has a great story about this. When he was 19, he decided he needed to get out of the house more, and he applied for a job at Chick-fil-A. After his interview, the manager told him that he was the first person who looked her in the eye, shook her hand, and didn't pull out his phone mid-conversation. He was stunned, thinking that those behaviors were just common sense. But those simple, confident gestures made a big impression. It seems that every other person the manager had interviewed that day either fidgeted, lacked eye contact, didn't know how to shake hands, or didn't offer their hand, and then reached for their phone when a notification went off. And in Trevor's words, he thought that was just the bare minimum for applying for a job. But the greater lesson in that is how important body language and actions are when it comes to exuding confidence. You've heard the saying, fake it till you make it, and put yourself out there and just keep trying. And really, what that is all about is pushing forward or projecting an air of confidence, like you know what you're doing, but still being open to saying, hey, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for here. Can you tell me? Being upfront and asking for support when you need it, while saying you're ready to tackle anything that comes your way, are all great ways to seem like you're confident. And like in the case of Trevor and his Chick-fil-A interview, a great way to get the job and to have others put their trust in you. One of the best ways to build confidence in your kids is by praising effort rather than intelligence. When we tell kids they're smart, they may start to avoid challenges because they don't want to risk not looking smart. But when we praise their effort, we're encouraging them to take on new challenges, to keep trying, and to embrace the learning process, even if they stumble along the way. And when mistakes happen, we need to approach them with a neutral tone. Ask, what happened here? This helps kids reflect on their choices, learn from their mistakes, and build resilience. Confidence doesn't mean never making mistakes. It means learning from them and coming back stronger. I know of parents, they're friends of mine, there are people in my family who are similar to this, who project an air of blame first and solve the problem later. The best way we can build confidence is to project an air of let's solve the problem. It's not just about who did something or why there was a mistake that happened. It's about what we learn from it and what we do as a result of it. Rather than say, who did this or why did you do this? When you ask an open-ended question like, what happened here, you offer the opportunity for that reflection, and kids have an opportunity to take an active role in solving the problem, which ultimately is what we want. We want our kids to be confident problem solvers. They are going to face adversity in everything they do, whether it's in their day-to-day homeschooling, whether it's in their friend groups or in their hobbies, whether it's when they go off to college or when they start their adult life. And we want them to know that making mistakes is part of life, but learning from them and coming back stronger is what makes us successful human beings and contributing members of society and those who have a fulfilling life. Confidence and competence go hand in hand. So when kids feel skilled at something, their confidence naturally grows. So look for ways to help your kids build competence in areas that they love. If they're passionate about ice skating, take them skating more often or sign them up for lessons. If they love theater, get them involved in auditioning and classes and training. If they love animals, find programs like the zoo volunteer program we found for teens that my second daughter is participating in. When they see their own progress, they feel more capable and more willing to take on challenges in other areas of life. Remind them of the time and effort it took to get good at something they enjoy. This can be a powerful way to show them that confidence is built over time and that they have the ability to grow and improve in anything they put their minds to. Ultimately, confidence is something that builds at home. It's the passport that allows our kids to dream big, take risks, and bounce back from setbacks. It's a journey that will carry them through their entire lives. When we create a home environment where they feel safe to try, fail, and try again, we're setting them up to become resilient, fearless, and confident adults. As we wrap up this series, I want you to remember that confidence is the culmination of all the other C's that we've talked about. It's built on a foundation of connecting with your kids. Connection. The more you connect, the better, because strong relationships and foundations give kids launch pads into the success of their future lives. But confidence is built on that foundation, and it's strengthened through collaboration, helping our kids know that collaborative efforts are beneficial to them and there are others around them that can contribute. It's enriched by content, the stuff we learn, the stuff we discover, the questions we ask. It's deepened through critical thinking deeply about the whys and what came before and how we can apply it to what's coming next. And it's brought to life with creative innovation. Confidence stems from all of these things working together. Hey there. Okay, you've heard me talk about CTC Math for a long time, and I've been sharing testimonials from other people about it, but I want to share my own right now because it's been a while since I've talked about how we're using CTC Math. CTC is an amazing sponsor. They support our work here at the podcast. They actually sponsor a lot of different homeschool businesses and magazines and events because they're so committed to making sure that the homeschool resources you have at your fingertips are available to you, that you have access to what you need when you need it. I love CTC Math for that part of who they are, but I also love CTC Math as a customer. I have been a paying customer for years and years. My kids are using it in very different ways, and this is what I want to talk about. I've talked before about its adaptability, but let's talk about this. I'm 16 years into homeschooling. This is my 16th year, and our kids are using it very differently. I've got one kiddo who's very advanced in math. That kiddo is a grade level and a half ahead, and I have their level set to mastery at 90%, meaning they have to get 90% or above to move on to the next set of math problems because that child doesn't have to speed through it. They're already a year and a half ahead. And so I want them, if they're going to continue to accelerate, I want them to accelerate with deep understanding. My other kiddo who's currently using it is right on grade level, maybe a couple lessons behind. And so that kiddo's mastery is set at 80% because I don't need that kiddo to understand every single section and get every single problem right. I need that kiddo to understand the big picture of the concepts, get at least a B's level of work done so that they can move on to the next level, because that particular kiddo is probably not going into a mathy career, but they need the basic understanding. CTC allows the flexibility to do that. If you've got a kiddo, say in late elementary school, who is absolutely brilliant in math, and can skip ahead to some high school level math, your subscription includes all the way up to calculus. You don't have to wait. You don't have to buy multiple levels of programs. If you've got a kiddo who you hit a snag and you realize, oh my gosh, we missed that section when we were learning third grade math and now we've got to go back to do it. You don't have to go out and buy a third grade math workbook. You just go to the section in the third grade math program level and have your kiddo do that. How flexible is that? You have every level from kindergarten all the way to calculus at your fingertips for a very affordable price. Check out ctcmath.com. If you go over to the show notes and you click on the link, it will give you whatever the current discount or special they're offering Raising Lifelong Learners listeners. And you can check that out and take advantage of that. I so appreciate CTC. I know you're going to love it. And if you don't, they have a money-back guarantee. So you really do have nothing to lose. If you have any questions about CTC, you can always reach out to me and I'm happy to answer those questions. All right, let's get back to today's episode. Go back and listen to the other episodes if you haven't had a chance, and check out the show notes for this episode and all of the others in this series. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey through the 6 C's of homeschooling success. Remember that there's a whole chapter in the book, The Homeschool Advantage, a child-focused approach to raising lifelong learners, all about these C's, and we go deeper and deeper into each one of them. And I hope that these episodes have given you practical ideas and encouragement to help you and your kids thrive. Remember, homeschooling isn't just about academics. It's about nurturing the whole person and giving our kids the skills they need to navigate life with confidence. You've got this. I promise you. You are a great parent. You are homeschooling your children. You're making choices to make their lives better. You need to trust that. You need to value that. And you need to give yourself the credit that you deserve. Check out the show notes for this episode and the episodes of the previous 5 in the series. Check on the links, read them, learn more ways that you can incorporate connection and collaboration and content and critical thinking and creative innovation and confidence in your kids, your family, and your homeschool. If you have any questions, reach out over on the show notes for this episode at raisinglifelonglearners.com/podcast. There is a widget where you can email me or you can send me a voicemail message and I will get back to you. I want to hear what's working for you. I want to hear what support you need. I want to help you have the best homeschool you can possibly have. We'll be back next week with a brand new topic. I hope to see you here. And let me know if there's any topics that you want to see on the podcast or you want to learn about. Just send me a message and let me know those topics. I'm happy to research them and talk about them for you. If you need anything, reach out. My email address is there, and I'll be back. Same time, same place next week. I hope you have a great week with your kids. Enjoy them. Enjoy this adventure that you are on. You're doing a great job, Mom. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.